Hello everyone and welcome to Erongo Talk. It's so good to be back. My name is Leandria Lowe and I'll be your host for today. Now today we join you from Organic Square Guesthouse here in Swakopmund. Today we also celebrate Car Insurance Day. Now as usual we bring you the latest news, the weather and tides, and for our interview segment for today we chat to Ciske Howard, who is the chairperson of the Erongo Regional Council, and she's going to chat a bit about her plans for her term. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Can we join you from Organic Square Guesthouse in Swakopmund with your latest news? Now, two suspects who were arrested in connection with stock theft on Friday morning in Swakopmund escaped from police custody later the day. Now, Dino Gurirap, who is 23 years old, and Gert Gavanap, who is 30 years old, were arrested when they were caught with one cattle carcass and two donkey carcasses and could not account for the goods satisfactorily, according to the police. Now, they were then brought in for questioning by members of the stock theft unit. Now, however, the duo managed to flee into the surrounding mountainous area while busy pointing out the crime scene to officials, according to reports. Now, the two suspects are well known in Montesa, Ochimbingwe, and surrounding areas, according to the police. Now, anyone who has information on their whereabouts are asked to contact the Deputy Commissioner Ikuyo at 081 246 4757. I'm going to repeat that. That's 081 246 4757, or Detective Warrant Officer Marine at 081 223 5972, 081 223 5972, or the nearest police station. Now, in our second story, the Mine Workers Union of Namibia in the Erongo region has expressed criticism at the management of the Okachi marble quarry near Karibab after a passenger and a front loader was fatally injured recently. Now, they are saying we are particularly dismayed by the lack of information that should be made available by the mine owners and the inspectors who are leading the investigation, the union said in a statement. Now, incident at the quarry occurred a good 2 weeks ago. Now, according to police reports, the driver of the front loader lost control of the vehicle and it rolled down a mountain. Now, both occupants were flung out of the vehicle. Now, co-driver, that's Alpheus Haingo, 57, died on the spot while the 58-year-old driver was hospitalized in Omaruru. Now, the union says that they will not rest until the facts of this incident have been brought to light and the necessary steps are taken to bring those responsible to justice. And in our third and final story for today, this one had quite our social media followers a buzz. Now, this is the Swapo Party in the Erongo region on Saturday donated fish, maize meal, oil and soup to the shack fire victims of the most recent Twalaloka fire. Now, the Walvis Bay Mayor, that is Trevino Forbes, accepted the donation on behalf of the residents and said that when it comes to the people, there are no party politics. Now, we work together for the betterment of our people in our community. We are grateful for the gesture, the mayor said. Now, Daniel Mahura, who is the Swapo Party regional coordinator here in the Erongo region, said that the party visited the fire victims last week and saw that there was a need for food. Now, we are thankful that they at least have tents to sleep in. Now, during our visit, they told us that they are hungry. It was for this reason that the party leadership, along with the Youth League, the Elder Council, and the individuals such as the former mayor of Walvis Bay decided to lend a helping hand. Now, Mahura called on other individuals and stakeholders to also assist. Now, our region is rich with natural resources such as uranium and fish. Our people should not starve, he said. I'm calling upon the fishing and the mining industry to help this community. Now, earlier in January, 27 shacks burned down at the Twalaloka settlement. Now, this is apart from the fire that happened last year, where those people are currently located at Otwea, where they are housed in tents. Now, the municipality is currently busy with a plan to accommodate them at houses that are being built, and they're expected to be done by March this year. Now, but you can still go check out so much more. We only gave you a tease of what's happening on our website. That's at www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na for all the latest news happening here and in the rest of the region.
Joining me today is Ciske Howard. She is the new chairperson for the Erongo Regional Council. Hi Ciske, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, Irina. How are you?
I'm doing well. So Ciske, you came in seemingly with a vengeance. We don't know against what, but we know that you are very busy trying to fix matters that have been close to our people for a long time. So Ciske, what would you like to achieve in your term as the chairperson?
At this stage, we've really got a problem with jobs. I mean, unemployment is the highest I think it's ever been in Namibia. Last year, through Corona, we've lost 12,000 jobs. So that's a massive impact on our economy. It's a massive impact on our people as well. So our first priority really is to create jobs, especially for the Erongo region, because that's where I've been elected to be. But I don't work on my own. You know, we're a council and we really work as a team. So for us, it's very important to create jobs, to uplift our people. And then obviously the big issue is housing as well. So I'm working very closely with the local authority councillors to make sure that we can achieve the goal of mass housing. And it's obviously something that's been really affected through the unemployment, through the economic instability that was caused by the COVID-19 virus. So for us, it's very important to, at this stage, assess everything. And we've been in office now, I think, for 6 weeks. Yeah. So, and we've really made big strides already to try and achieve these things.
And Ciske, what's interesting to me is that unlike most of the people who came before you, you have barely any background in politics. And I'm seeing that this is a new trend in local politics. So how do you think not having a background in politics is going to affect your work?
Well, I was reprimanded the other day because I used to say that I'm not a politician, I'm here to work for the people, but my job description is that I'm a politician. So it's difficult coming into the structures, but that's just something that one needs to understand. So I'm doing a lot of study work at the moment, and I'm doing a lot of reading, because not having that background, it's something that I need to catch up really quickly on. But it doesn't affect the way I want to do things or need to do things. You know, there's no rule book. If you've got a drive and if you really want to achieve something for the people and you work for the good of the people, then the door's wide open. So I think that's the difference. I don't have a background in politics, but I've got a strong background in the private sector. And if we can integrate the two to make sure that from a government's side and perspective, I understand what the private sector needs, then we can marry the two and make sure that we bring the private sector in because they bring jobs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you see a future for yourself in politics at this point?
At this stage, I'm taking it, one step at a time. So this next 5 years is really my focus. I believe people that try to make a career out of politics tend to jump to the next thing too quickly. And I really need to just bog down and focus on the next 5 years and achieve as many things as I possibly can. If I start now focusing on what the thereafter, then maybe I might lose focus on the job at hand.
Yeah. And Ciske, you have made a point to not separate yourself, but to make a point to say that you work and serve your people and not your party. But we have seen quite a rise in the opposition seats that are being taken up in local and national politics. What do you think this means for our country?
Well, I work, obviously I've been elected by the party, so what I do is I separate the two. By the minute I walk into my door at the office, I'm a public servant. And there's no party lines when you're a public servant. You work for the public. I've had the question as well is how will we use, the fact that we're in office now, the downstream effects for the party. And my immediate reaction is it blurs the lines. So for me, it's the best guy for the job, the best person that needs to get the tenders, that needs to get these sort of things. That's what I stand for. And to just answer your question, the opposition seats have really, I think there's a big awakening that's happened. And it's really down to Corona, the lockdowns that we had, the severe lockdowns, especially in Erongo that we've had. And now with fish rot. Everybody's waking up, everybody's seeing what's going on, and everybody wants change. So it's not just the IPC, it's all the opposition has come together and really, and that's why we've got such strong coalition governments now in place as well, to make sure that what has happened in the past never happens again. Because there's a big amount of money that got stolen from our people that could have gone to jobs, that it could have gone to employment, same thing, but to education, to food security, to industry, these sort of things. And it's mind-boggling that big amount of money is just gone. And I think that's where the opposition comes in, to say that we are here to stop it. And to make sure that the people come first, and the people of Namibia come first. And I think it's a strong nationalism feeling that's starting to develop within Namibia, which makes me very proud and very patriotic.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've led me right into the white elephant in the room, which is corruption. How are you planning on tackling corruption? Do you have any sort of plans going so far?
Well, corruption is one of those things, if you just start digging, it'll come up. Yeah. So for me, with every document, every meeting, every inquiry, every hearsay thing, I just start digging and make sure that whatever comes across my table, I triple check to make sure that either we stop it or we expose what was there. And I think that's the most important thing, is accountability. We've heard our President Hagi Geingob talk about accountability, and right after, this whole fish rod thing came out. So for me, it's very important that I be held accountable for everything that I do, but that I also hold people accountable for everything that I'm involved with. And that's where the big corruption thing comes in. We must make sure that all of us, not just politicians, but all of Namibia, start saying no and start keeping a close eye on everything and all the dealings that are happening. And if you know about corruption, talk to the ACC. Talk to the police, talk to your politicians, make sure you expose it. I was very taken aback by the statement that our First Lady made about people just don't like corruption because it's not yet their turn to eat. And I thought to myself, corruption is such a severe crime. You literally steal futures if you commit the crime of corruption. And I feel people that commit corruption really need to go to jail for life because of the amount of lives that they affect downstream. So to just say that we're unhappy with corruption is wrong. We devastated with the amount of corruption that's going on. We feel it. Each and every one of us feel it in our own pocket. We see it in our children. We see it in the future of what's coming. And we have to stop it. As a nation, we've got to make sure that we become the poster child for Africa, where we literally say no.
Wonderful. And lastly, you are now the face of the Erongo region, the voice of the Erongo region. Is there a message that you would like to give to the people of the Erongo region?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. For me, it's important that we start having conversations. Across all racial lines, across cultural lines, across all of that, we need to start to get to know each other, because we've got such a rich culture in Namibia, different cultures. We need to be able to celebrate each other individually and not just look at our own and think the other person is weird or they're different or something. Celebrate them for who they are. And the only way you can do that is to get to know the person. So one of the things that I've been saying from before my campaign even was to say that even talk to the guy that helps you in the shop, the lady behind the till. Talk to these people and ask them where they come from. Ask them what affects their lives. Because there's such a nice work together that can come from it if we have conversations with each other and if we get to know each other. And we've got a golden opportunity at the moment with the fact that we coalition governments. We all come from different backgrounds. It's not this tribalism thing anymore. It's not a racial thing anymore. So we must really capitalize on that and make sure that we talk straight to each other and call a spade without judgment and without being offended and any of these words, that we've sort of hung around our own necks, and to get to know each other. Because there's beautiful people in Namibia. There's beautiful cultures. There's such rich history. And it's going to go away if we don't celebrate it, and if we don't get to know each other, and if we don't spend time getting to know our fellow man. And that's my message. Let's take the time, and even with we've got curfews, we've got lockdowns, these sort of things in place. It means you've got a lot more time at home. Invite people over, get to know people, and really spend the time to have conversations. I learned so much during our campaign when I went deep into DRC and into Mondesa and Tulinawa and these places, and really got to know the persons and not just live in my little bubble, you know, and it was such a big revelation to me to see how people are living and how happy they are with these, you know, within the circumstances. And that's part of my drive, why I want to make such a big difference, so that we can all just be, you know, happy Namibians, dignified Namibians, and we all secure the future for our children. And that's what it's about. You know, it's like Dr. Itula says, Namibia is all we have. So we must save it.
Absolutely, that is wonderful. Thank you so much, Ciske. That was the incredible Ciske Howard.
And now it's time for your weather and tides for all the major towns here in the Erongo region. Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Erongo Talk. It was so lovely having you with us today. Now remember, you need to check out our website. That's www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na for all the latest news happening here in the Erongo region. You can also follow us on Facebook, on Twitter and on Instagram, and you can get in contact with us at 0811 7040. That's 0811 7040. Now that is your go-to number for advertisements, because we are also going to bring out our fishing focus, which is set to be published this month. So please get in contact up with us if you want to advertise in that supplement. That's 0811 7040. 0811 7040. And we have another awesome competition going on our Facebook page. You just need to find the post and you can win a school bag filled with school supplies. You just need to upload a picture of your bundle of joy who started grade 1, and the picture with the most likes wins, I guess. So remember, we still find ourselves in the COVID-19 pandemic. It's very important that you keep your distance. It's very important that you wear your mask when you are in company of other people, and it's very important that you wash your hands and sanitize your hands at all times. Now tomorrow we're going to join you from Warfish Bay. That's at 12 o'clock. So until then, goodbye.